Our progress report says we are at stage 5, paragraph
Mm.
page 388.
Mm.
388. Okay, and
Yes, it's correct.
our last headword was. Okay, one moment. Let me do this. Page 388. Okay, our last headword was chain, newer type of lesson.
Mm.
Okay, so let's start with our revision. Okay, and no reading, right? Only.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so here we go. First question, let me just scroll down. Okay. Has the lesson already finished? Has the lesson already finished? No, the
No,
lesson
the
hasn't
lesson
finished yet.
hasn't finished
It's
yet. It's
still in
in still
progress.
in progress.
Very good. Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? No,
No,
I'm not
I
able
don't. I'm not able
to
to
speak
speak
English
English
without
without
making any
making
mistakes.
any
I
mistake.
still
I
make some
still make
mistakes.
some mistakes.
Very good. Are we already in autumn? Are we already in autumn? No, we aren't
No,
in
we are
autumn yet.
in autumn
We're
yet.
still
We
in
are still
summer.
in summer.
Very good. Have we already studied stage 4 of the Callan method? Have we already studied stage 4 of the Callan method? Yes, we've
Yes,
already
we already
studied
studied
stage 4
stage 4
of the Callan method.
of the current method lesson.
Very good. What are the three forms of throw? What are the three forms of throw? The three
The
forms
three
of throw
hormone throw
are
are
throw,
throw,
through,
through,
thrown.
thrown.
Very good.
Throw, through, thrown.
Very good. Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've thrown
I have
something
thrown
away
something
by mistake.
something
Away
by something away
by
by
mistake,
mistake
which was
by
worth,
me by
which was
mistake
worth,
which was
worth
worth
a lot of money.
a lot of money.
What did you throw away? I threw away my.
I threw away my ring.
Oh, expensive. Okay. Next, why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Some people
Because some
do
people
dangerous
do
sports
dangerous
in spite
sports
of the
in
danger
spite of danger
because
in
they
the
find them
because they
exciting.
find them exciting.
Very good. Name some food that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Name some foods that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Some foods that
Some
are
foods
very
that
popular
aren't very popular,
despite
but
being
despite of being
bad for
mm,
the health
bad for the health,
are
uh,
pizza,
chi- pizza,
ha-
chips,
chocolates, chips,
chocolate, chips, etc.
etc. Very good. Do you think it's worth learning a foreign language in spite of the fact that it's quite difficult? Do you think it's worth learning a foreign language in spite of the fact that it's quite difficult? Yes, I
Yes,
think it's
I
worth
think it was
learning a foreign
learning
language
foreign
in
language,
spite of the
which,
fact
in spite of the
that it's
fact
quite
that
difficult.
they are quite difficult.
Very good. In spite of studying a lot of words and grammar, do you still find English a little difficult? In spite of studying a lot of words and grammar, do you still find English a little difficult? Yes, in
Yes,
spite of
in spite
studying
of studying
a lot of
a
words
lot
and
of
grammar,
words in grammar,
I still find
I
English,
still find
English
English
a little difficult.
English a little difficult.
Very good. What words can we use instead of anybody, somebody, and nobody? What words can we use instead of anybody, somebody, and nobody? Instead of
Instead of
anybody,
anybody,
somebody, and
somebody,
nobody,
no, and nobody,
we can use
we just
anyone,
use anyone,
someone,
no one,
and no one.
someone, and no one.
Reg, did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Yes,
No,
someone came.
yes,
Came
someone
into the
came
classroom
into the
at the
classroom
beginning of the
at the
lesson.
beginning of the lessons.
Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago? Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago? No one went
No,
out.
no one
Went out
came out to
of this
came
room.
out to this school.
No No
No
one
one.
went out
No, no
of that
one went
room
out of the room
2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago.
Very good. What's the opposite of the verb to lend? What's the opposite of the verb to lend? The opposite
The
of the
opposite of
verb to lend.
to
The verb to lend
the opposite of the verb to rent
is
is
to
to
borrow.
borrow.
Very good. Should we always give back things we borrow? Should we always give back the things we borrow? Yes, we
Yes,
should always
we
give
should
back
always give
the
back
things we
the,
borrow.
the thing
We borrow.
we borrow.
Very good. If you forgot to bring a pen with you to school, would you have to borrow one from another student? If you forgot to bring a pen with you to school, would you have to borrow one from another student? Yes. If I
Yes,
forgot
if
to
I
bring a
forgot to
pen with
bring a
me
pen
to
with me
school,
to
I'd have
school,
to borrow
I'll have
one
to borrow
from
one
another student.
from another student.
Very good. Give me an example of the word own after a possessive adjective. Give me an example of the word own after a possessive adjective, please. This is my
This
own
is
book.
my own book.
Very good. Do you live in your own house or does it belong to somebody else? Do you live in your own house or does it belong to somebody else? I live
I
in
live
my own house.
in my own house.
Very good. Do you think this is probably my own book or do you think it belongs to the school? Do you think this is probably my own book or do you think it belongs to the school? I don't
I
think.
think
I don't
I
think
I don't
that's
think
your own
look
book.
that your own book.
I think
Hmm?
it
I think
belongs to the
it
school.
belongs
To the
to
school.
schools,
To the school.
to the school.
Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's your
It's
skin.
your skin.
Very good. Okay, what do we use wire for? What do we use wire for? We use
The,
wire
we use the wire
to
for connected
connecting
to
things
connect
together
connected to things together
to carry electricity,
to carry electricity,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What do we mean by a wireless internet connection? What do we mean by a wireless internet connection? By a wireless
We buy a
internet, by
internet to
by a
buy
wireless
a wireless
internet
internet to
connection,
connection.
we
We
mean
mean
that we can
that
connect
we
to the
can
internet
connect to the internet
without
no,
connecting
without
wires
connecting
to
wireless
our computer.
um, to
To our
to connect
computer.
to our computer
Very good. One more. By a
by
wireless
a
internet
wireless
connection,
internet
we
connection.
mean
We
that we
mean
can
that
connect
we can
to the
connect
internet
to the internet
without connecting
mm,
wires, without
without
connecting wires,
without connecting
wires to our computer.
wireless wireless
With
with our
more,
computer
without connecting wires,
mm, without connecting
wire to our
wire
computer.
with wire
To
our
our
with our
computer.
computer.
Very good. What can we say instead of a wireless internet connection? What can we say instead of a wireless internet connection? Instead
Instead
of a
of
wireless internet connection,
wireless connection, we
int-
can say mm,
Wi-Fi.
we
We can
Wi-Fi.
say
We
Wi-Fi.
can we can say Wi-Fi
Very good. One more. Instead of a
instead
wireless
of
internet
our
connection,
wireless internet
we can
connection.
say
We can
Wi-Fi.
say Wi-Fi.
Very good. Do some bars and cafe offer free Wi-Fi to their customers? Do some bars and cafes offer free Wi-Fi to their customers? Yes, some
Yes,
bars
some
and
buses
cafes
and cafes
offer free
offer
Wi-Fi
free
to
Wi-Fi
their
for
customers.
to their customers.
Very good. Spell the word Wi-Fi. Spell the word Wi-Fi, please. W-I
W-I
hyphen
hyphen
F-I.
F-I.
Very good. Tell me three ways of cooking potatoes. Tell me three ways of cooking potatoes, please. Three
The
ways of
three ways
cooking
of the
potatoes
cooking of
are
potatoes:
boiling, frying,
boiling,
and
frying,
roasting.
roasting,
And roasting.
and roasting.
Very good. Do you prefer fried eggs to boiled eggs? Do you prefer fried eggs to boiled eggs? I prefer.
I prefer to fried eggs to
One more.
boiled
I
eggs.
prefer
Hmm?
fried
I,
eggs.
pre-
I
I
prefer fried
prefer
eggs
I prefer fried eggs
to boiled eggs.
to boiled eggs.
Very good. How long does it take to boil potatoes? How long does it take to boil potatoes? It takes
It
about
takes
20
about
minutes to
20
boil
minutes
potatoes.
for
To
boil
boil potatoes.
to boil the
Very
potatoes.
good. One more. It takes about
It takes
20
about
minutes
20
to
minutes
boil
to
potatoes.
boil potatoes.
Very good. What's a wall normally built of? What's a wall normally built of? A wall.
The 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 wall
Ah,
normally
a
built
wall.
the
A
a
wall
wall
is normally
is
built of
normally
bricks.
built of bricks.
Very good. Okay. Where do the words as well, to, and also usually go? Where do the words as well, to, and also usually go? The words as
The
well
word you
and
as well
to.
you to usually
One more. The words as well and to.
the
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 words
words
as well
the word as
and
well
to
and
go at the end
to
of the
the end of
sentence.
the
But
sentence.
the word
But
also
the word
usually
also
goes
usually
after the
goes
first auxiliary verb.
the first auxiliary
Oh,
after first auxiliary verbs.
very good. Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I will be sleeping at
I will
3
be
a.m.
I will be sleeping at
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
My sister will
My
be
sister
sleeping
will
as
be
well.
sleeping as
My
well.
mother will be
My mother
sleeping
will
too.
be
Sleeping
sleeping
too.
too.
My brother
Sleeping. My brother
will also be sleeping.
will also sleeping.
Will also be sleeping.
My brother will also be sleeping.
Very good. Give me an example of the word also when there is no auxiliary verb. Give me an example of the word also when there is no auxiliary verb, please. I love coffee.
I love
And I
coffee
also
and
love
also
tea.
love tea.
Very good. Okay. When do we use the future continuous? When do we use the future continuous? We use the
We use
future continuous for an
future
action. Future
continuous
continuous for
future
an action
continuous for an action
that will be in
that will
progress
be
at
in
a
progress
particular
at the
time
particular time
in the
and
future.
in the future.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I will be working
I will
at
be
this time
working at
tomorrow.
this time tomorrow.
Very good. Will you still be studying English in 50 years' time? Will you still be studying English in 50 years' time? No, I
Yes,
won't.
no,
I won't
no.
still be
I want
studying
to still be
studying English
studying
in
English
50
in
years' time.
50 years time.
Where do you think you'll be living in 10 years' time? Where do you think you'll be living in 10 years' time? I think I'll
I
be
think
living.
I live in
I'll
here.
be living.
I will be living.
Okay, contraction. I think I'll be living.
I think I'll be
Be
I
living here
be living here
in 10 years'
in
time.
10 years time.
Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's an
It's a
inch.
inch.
What's this? What's this? It's a foot.
It's a foot.
What's this? What's this? It's a yard.
It's a yard.
How many centimeters make an inch? How many centimeters make an inch? About two and
About
a half
have
centimeters.
2.5
Centimeters
centimeters
make an
in
inch.
make a inch.
Make an inch.
Make an inch.
Very good. How many inches make a foot? How many inches make a foot? 12 inches.
12
Make a foot.
inches make a foot.
How many feet make a yard? How many feet make a yard? 3 feet.
Three
Make a
three
yard.
feet to make a yard.
Is a yard longer than a meter? Is a yard longer than a meter? No. A
No,
yard isn't longer
a yard isn't
than a
no
meter.
longer hmm,
Than a meter.
isn't than a
Oh,
meter.
one more. No, a yard
No, a
isn't
yard
longer
isn't
than a
longer
meter.
than a
It's
meter.
shorter than a
It's
meter.
shorter than a meter.
Very good. Consequently, when we run 100 yards, do we run further than 100 meters? Consequently, when we run 100 yards, do we run further than 100 meters? No.
No,
When we run
when
a
we
100
run a
yards,
hundred
we
yards,
don't run
we don't
further than,
we don't
we
don't
don't
run
run further
further
than
than
100
100,
meters.
100
We
meters.
run less
We
than
run
a
less
hundred
than
meters.
100 meters.
Very good. Are you wearing a chain? Are you wearing a chain? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm not.
can. I don't.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
wearing a chain.
I'm not wearing a chain.
Very good. What do we mean when we say someone is a chain smoker? What do we mean when we say someone is a chain smoker? When we say
When we
someone,
change,
when
when
we
we change,
say
when we say
someone
someone
is a chain
is
smoker,
a chain
we
smoker,
mean
we
that
mean
he or
that
she smokes.
she or he or she
Smokes one cigarette
smokes one
after
cigarette
another
after another
without stopping,
without
like a
stopping
chain.
like a chain.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay, so repeat. Rise.
Rise
Constantly.
constantly.
Very good. Okay, listen. Rise is a verb. To rise means to go up and move upwards. For example, the sun rises late in winter. Constantly is an adverb. Constantly means continuously. For example, the cost of living is constantly rising these days. It means it's continuously rising. Let's practice. What's my book doing? What's my book doing? Your book's
Your
rising
book is rising
in the air.
in the air.
Where does the sun rise early in winter? Does the sun rise early in winter? No, the
No,
sun
the
doesn't
sun is
rise
doesn't rise
early
early
in winter.
in winter.
It rises late.
It it rises later.
It rises late.
It rises late.
Very good. One more. No, the sun
No,
doesn't
sun
rise early
doesn't rise
in
early
winter.
in winter.
It rises
It
late.
rises later.
No,
It rises late.
very good. Is the cost of living constantly rising these days? Is the cost of living constantly rising these days? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
yes.
cost of living.
The cost of rising,
One more. The
cost
cost of living
of living
is
is
constantly rising
constantly
these
rising
days.
these days.
Very good. What did you do if this table slowly began to rise into the air without anybody touching it? What did you do if this table slowly began to rise into the air without anybody touching it? If that
If
table
that table
slowly
rising
began
slowly
to
began to
rise into the
rise
air
into the air
without anybody
without
touching
anybody
it,
touching
I'd run
it,
out of the room.
I ran of the room.
Very good. Okay. Are you wearing a belt? Are you wearing a belt? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not
I'm not
wearing a belt.
wearing belt.
A belt.
I'm not wearing a belt.
Very good. Okay. Next, repeat. Hourly,
Hourly,
daily,
daily,
weekly,
weekly,
monthly,
country,
monthly,
monthly,
yearly.
yearly.
Very good. Okay. Listen. Those words are all adverbs. The words hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly mean every hour, every day, every week, every month, and every year. Let's practice. What do the words hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly mean? What do the words hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly mean? The words
The
hourly.
hourly,
Come on,
daily,
more. The
weekly.
words hourly,
The was hourly,
daily, weekly,
daily,
monthly,
weekly,
and yearly
monthly,
means
and yearly means
every hour,
every
every
hour,
day,
every day,
every week,
every week,
every month,
every month,
and every
and
year.
every year.
Where the most radio stations have hourly traffic news. The most radio stations have hourly traffic news. Yes,
Yes,
most radio
most
stations
radio
have
station
hourly
have
traffic
a
news. Traffic news.
hourly traffic news.
Where which daily newspaper do you read? Which daily newspaper do you read? I read.
I I can I
I
do.
read
I did do Nikkei
newspaper.
newspaper.
Very good. Do you read any weekly newspapers? Do you read any weekly newspapers? Yes or no?
No,
I don't read
I don't read
any weekly
any
newspapers.
weekly newspapers.
Very good. How many hours of English do you study monthly? How many hours of English do you study monthly? I study
I study English.
How many hours? I study
I study about 40
hours
hours
of English
study
monthly.
of English
Monthly.
monthly.
Very good. Where do you usually go for your yearly holidays? Where do you usually go for your yearly holidays? I usually
I
go to
usually
my
go
hometown
to Tadechina
for
yearly
my
holiday
yearly holidays.
for my yearly holiday.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Allow.
Allow
Let.
let
Every day.
every day.
Very good. Okay, listen. The verbs allow and let have the same meaning. The difference is that the word allow has the infinitive with to after it. So it has the verbs with the word to, whereas let has the infinitive without to. So the base form of the verb without the word to. For example, we can say the policeman allowed the man to go home, and the policeman let the man go home. So no to. In everyday English, let is more common than allow. Let's practice. What's the difference between allow and let? What's the difference between allow and let? The difference
The
between
difference
allow
between
and let
allow and
is that
let is that
allow has
allow
the infinitive
has the infinitive
with
to
to
with to
after it,
after it,
whereas
whereas
let
let
has the infinitive
has the infinitive
without to after it.
without to after it.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. The doctor allowed
The
me
doctor
to
allowed
change my appointment.
me to change my
The
appointment.
doctor let me
That that
change. The
that
doctor let me
the
change
doctor let me
my
change
appointment.
my appointment.
Very good. What sometimes happen when we let people borrow things that belong to us? What sometimes happen when we let people borrow things that belong to us? When we let people,
When we people
well,
borrow,
one more. When we let people,
when
when
we
when
people
we let
when we left
people borrow
people
things
borrow
that
things
belong to
that
us,
belong
they
to us.
sometimes
They
don't
sometimes
return them.
don't return them.
Where do you think it's a good idea to allow children to do as they please? Do you think it's a good idea to allow children to do as they please? No, I
No,
don't think
I don't
it's a good
think
idea
it's a good
to allow
idea to
children
allow
to
children
do as they
to do
please.
as they please.
Where do you think it's dangerous these days to let people we don't know enter our houses? Do you think it's dangerous these days to let people we don't know enter our houses? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
it's
think
dangerous
it's
these days
dangerous these
to
days
let
to
people
let
we
people
don't know
we don't know
enter our houses.
enter our
Our
enter
houses.
our houses.
Very good. Do you think more people would kill each other if the law of the country let them? Do you think more people would kill each other if the law of the country let them? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
more
think
people
more
would
people
kill each
would
other
kill each
if
other
the law of the
if the
country
law of country
let them.
let them.
Very good. Okay, next listen. Another difference between allow and let is that we cannot use let in the passive voice. For example, we cannot say I was let. We must say I was allowed. Let's practice. Which is it right to say I was let or I was allowed? Which is it right to say I was let or I was allowed? It's right to say
It's right to
I was
say
allowed.
I was allowed
Why? Why? Because
because
we cannot use
we
let.
can we can use
We cannot use
we cannot use
let in the
it
passive voice.
in the past
Do
voice.
you think students should be allowed to use their mobile phones during lessons? Do you think students should be allowed to use their mobile phones during lessons? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
students should be
students
allowed
to be
to
allowed
use their
to use
mobile phones
their mobile phones
during
during
lessons.
the lessons.
During lessons.
Do, during
Lessons.
lesson
Very good.
during
Okay.
lessons.
Very good. So we stop there for today. Thank you very much. See you again next lesson. Bye bye.